GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
I'd say there's times you wish it was TV purely.
I swear to God.
Oh, I tell you, there's nothing more entertaining than seeing a man fight with an inanimate object and speak to us and everything. It's
up
like
the Jesus wall. It drives
It's
me.
like you often say about, what's that your expression about a middle-aged man shouting at the wind or something?
Yeah, old man shouts at clouds. Yeah, that's it.
It's
that's
like
me.
He literally has this ongoing battle with a particular microphone in the studio.
It's a bastard.
It just seems to
bastard.
act up every time he comes near it.
Oh, God.
It creates a strange buzz or hum or some
drives me
sort of
mad.
weirdness.
Every single time you go to use it, it does it. Every single time. That's what drives me. And we were just talking there. It's not as if I don't make inappropriate, stupid fucking sounds most of the time. Because we were just talking, I had another howler today. I'm not going to say what it is because it would get me in way more trouble than it's worth, right?
Yeah.
But I made an absolute howler, or I used a word I shouldn't have used, but I thought I was using a different one, right?
Yeah.
And it actually I was going to say this here. It reminds me of this story that I was going to say to you about doing on the show this morning. And it's the same sort of thing, but it's when people like me are made to set up a website, right?
Yeah.
For a company, and it looks totally normal until it's all set up and they share the link, and then all of a sudden it's too late. Do you know what I mean?
So you're saying that if you were setting up a company,
yes,
is that what you mean?
Yeah. So say someone goes, we have a company, so will you set up the website for it?
Oh, and then when they run it all together.
And when so for instance, like a typical one, the Children's Laughter Foundation, right? They said set one up, send us the link to it, and of course when you put childrenslaughter.com, it comes into childrenslaughter.com, which looks absolutely terrible, right?
Right, yeah.
But sometimes they're not as terrible. So the Speed of Art college got it to do, and it comes up as Speed of Fart. Is how
Speedo fart.
Speedo fart. I didn't even get it until you said it now. I'm only after getting it now. A fart in your Speedos.
A Speedo fart.
Yeah, imagine the amount.
That actually sounds like it'd be one of those really mental out there types of like
kinks
that people would be into.
Oh yeah.
How are you doing? Well, I need to find it. You know that website that does about everybody who farts in their Speedos?
Yeah, I'm into speed farts. That's my thing. That's what I'm into. And now all of a sudden I got into portraits because I accidentally put in the wrong website. Yeah. So the Big Al's restaurant, they wanted to do one, so they put Big Al, and he just says, I love Big Al's. And he kept getting contacted by people who are putting in, I love By Gals.
By gals, right, okay.
And then there's IP Solutions, put in IP Anywhere as their one, ipanywhere.com. Yeah, and the Cook Islands, the homepage for Google is google.cock is their one. Yeah.
Is that the thing for the Cook Islands?
Yeah, it's c.ck, so it's google.cock. Yeah, and Penn Island's website is penisland.net.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Oh, because there was a shop. Is that a shop, that Penn Island?
It is a shop. Yeah, Penn Islands. Yeah, Penn Island. Yeah, Penisland. Penisland.net.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I love this one. Who Represents is an online directory of publicists and entertainers. You can look at it. But if you look at it, it's spelled Whore Presents. Welcome to the Whore Presents. And then it's all the list of people that they represent. Yeah. And
because isn't there a famous one? Like it's like a cliche at this stage, but like therapist. When it's split the wrong way in the web,
it's a particularly bad one.
The rapist.
That's actually there, but I don't going to read it out. That shows Jim's sense of humour now.
I'm only saying I'm using it as a classic example of one that's well known.
No, you're right.
You have to be careful how you read it.
And one that's lesser known, but works in the same way, is Power Genoa. So the electrics company for Genoa in Italy, right?
Yeah.
And they are powergenitalia.com because it's Power Gen Italia. Power Genitalia.
Wow.
Also the sister company of the Whore Represents or whatever.
And affiliated with Penisland.
And Penisland. You can find it all on google.cock.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
and you just don't realise you're doing it. When they set it up, they set these things up totally innocently and have no idea.
And
they've
especially,
no idea.
can I just point out at this stage, I'm not sure PJ knows that this conversation is about to take this particular turn, to be
I
perfectly
don't.
honest with you.
Whatever it is.
But especially maybe when you're dealing with somebody, if you entrust that job of setting up a website or whatever to somebody who maybe isn't particularly either maybe technically inclined or possibly paying enough attention to what they should be doing.
I think I do know where you're going.
Like, for example, when PJ, as you know, we had an ongoing saga. We spoke about it on the show. He was trying to get his driving license renewed, and he ran into all sorts of problems because of a change of address and all this kind of weird thing. But anyway, look, it was coming towards a conclusion.
Yeah, it was coming towards a conclusion. I finally got all my digits and details and the whole lot, right? But because I didn't want to finish it online, because I don't know how to do anything online, I booked the meeting. Safe, you would have thought. Safe as houses.
So it's a face-to-face where you give your details person.
Yeah, I hand them to her.
Yeah.
And then she hands me back the licence. Theory being, except I still managed to make a balls of it. So I got a voice message yesterday. I missed a call. Hi, this is Kate from the NDLS, just calling about your appointment in Clare Hall on the 23rd. I noticed you've booked that you want the interview held entirely in the language of Irish. I'm just wondering, did you make a mistake? Or do we actually have to get a translator? Can you please call me back and let me know? Now, I can't get them on the phone, which means when I turn up on the 23rd, there's going to be 3 of them there, and they're going to go, Dear Glitch, I don't know how to say Buena Vista. And I won't have a Riddler's.
What's going to too? And you're like,
I'll be there, yeah.
What?
Buicas le dia. Agus goma leisgail, gracias
exactly.
everyone. I haven't a clue.
Glen Roll, Fair City.
Yeah, Glen Roll, Ross no ruin a gutsa, Uachta Rosta, Kabosh in the hair.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't have the clue. So now, I can't get them. So
that
now
person translate is going to be fantastic when you go. Come
and
here,
they have to get him especially. They have to get this person, him or her, especially for this day. They don't have them there.
He's going to wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
So you're going, come here, listen, sorry about this, right? Sorry about the misunderstanding. And he's going, he's speaking English. What am I supposed to who am I translating for?
Welcome, Aleshka. Excuse me. If I managed to upset you,
you do have
a
a nasty habit. I mean, we thought that that time when you were trying to take money out of your account and you ended up in foreign exchange.
I wasn't even trying to take it out. I was trying to understand people. I was saying it's impossible to transfer. Oh yeah, I was trying to transfer money from one account into the other account because I had to pay the bills, And I was saying, I won't move. I can't do it. I won't move. The money won't go over. And she was like, what do you mean it won't go over? I was like, well, I have this. And she goes, tell me what. And she goes, and what currency are you trying to change the money into? I was like, I'm not trying to, what do you mean? She goes, you're in the Bureau de Change. You're in the digital Bureau de Change. You're in the currency conversion part of the website.
How does it just happen? You end up in the Bureau de Change.
Yeah.
You end up saying you need to speak to somebody through the medium of the Irish language.
Can I meet somebody at the digital Bureau de Change and speak Irish, please? Because I need a driving licence.
And you just go like, geez, if it's a box ticket,
I just don't.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Take them all.
Know what's going on here, and then you get phone, and that's it. I get phone calls like that. Hi, PJ Gallagher, just calling you from the passport office, just to let you know, we actually don't do driving licences. We can give you a number for the NDLS. Because they don't say you're a bleeding idiot or what are you doing. They have to sort of be in some way sort of helpful. Yeah,
mind you, I do appreciate your kind of willingness to have a go. You know what I mean?
I'll have a go.
Some people, they might come up with, look, I don't really know how to do that. No, that looks very complicated or whatever. And, they'd I don't know, attempt to fob it off. They'd find somebody or they'd go, I don't know. But in fairness, you go in. You do go in. Now, you end up in the wrong place and doing the wrong
fucking
things.
Building and everything. But I have found if you just hit enough buttons, somebody calls.
I'm surprised.
Somebody will call.
I'm surprised you didn't say to your woman in the Bureau de Change, you wouldn't go next door, would you? And just tell them that I'm here. And
are you busy, are you? Because I need someone help me in the bank.
Yeah. Would you go out wherever the Bureau de Change is and just go down to where my account is?
Yeah, just go into the NDLS. Come here. Could you look at this app on my phone? It's for the bank. What am I doing wrong?
So you're right.
I can't get them on the phone. I thought you might help.
So your principle is hit every button until a human arrives.
Just hit every fucking
and
button.
make it somebody else's problem.
Until someone rings and goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? Remember, I had to just recently as well. This is very recent. You'll remember this story. I had to go and get this public services access card or something it is.
Yeah.
Because I have one that, they asked me on the phone, did I have one? This is for the license. I said, yes, I do. And it says, what's the number on it? And I read the number and it says, that's not a number from a card in Ireland. And I went, this is. And I went, what's the issue date? And I said, the 5th of the 9th, 1995. And they went, no, that's out. No, we don't do them anymore. It's a digital access card, whatever. Yeah. I went, I don't fucking know what it is. I don't know, I don't know how to do it. I can't. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Please, please help me. And they were like, we can't help you. We literally don't know who you are. So I had to go to Kelly. And I says to her, what's this card they're asking me for? And she goes, yes, everyone in Ireland has one of them. I don't know how you get paid without one. Everyone has to have one. So she took me to the office down in Donamead, right? Right. I went into Donamead and I was making such a song and dance out of it, right? About, I don't know what to do on Philly. And she goes, what you... She was there, where's your birth cert? I don't have a birth cert either because I was adopted, right? And she goes, we have to ring a different office, right? And then Kelly came in after about 20 minutes of this and she goes, how are you getting on? And the woman working there going, he's being very brave, she goes. Taking the piss out of me. He's being very brave. Like it was a 4-year-old at the GP.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I started laughing. She was laughing. She's going, oh yeah, he's great. Oh, he's a great boy altogether now. Yeah, he's getting there.
Oh my God.
Absolutely hopeless when it comes to anything like that.
Brilliant.
Anything, yeah.
Mind you, to be fair to you, there is a thread through your life, because I remember even, many years ago when your lovely mum was still with us and you'd go to be buying her a present and your attitude to it was you walk in and you make it somebody else's problem.
Make yourself someone else's problem.
You literally walk up to somebody in a shop and you go, I need a present from me, ma, and then you let them sort it out from there.
I need something for a 75-year-old woman. and then they question you. And you can see them going, oh fuck, he got me. You can see it happen. Oh shit, what's she like? I don't know.
Yeah.
What you mean? Whoa, why did you come here?
What size is she? About that size. What's that mean? No,
yeah, what you mean? She's about 5 foot. No. Right, here we go. And they will figure it out with you. They will. Eventually.
Does she like a particular colour? Jeez, I don't know.
Beige. I've seen her in a lot of beige. Right. How much have you got to spend? That's always the question then.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have €95. €95, right. 95.
You wouldn't go the full 100.
I have this for 100, yeah.
So it's only our birthday.
Yeah. Right, I'll go to 100 then. You robbed me. I don't even want to talk to you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's a good philosophy. Just make yourself somebody else's problem.
Make yourself someone else's problem. I even did it actually the last day when I was in with that woman, and she goes, I just need you to sign this thing here. Have you got a pen? I says, I do. It doesn't work. And she goes, why did you bring it in? I don't know.
That was your contribution.
I
you brought a pen which doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you knew in advance it didn't work.
I did. In the car, I had to try and scribble. I went, that's not working. But I still carried it in.
Yeah.
And then she goes, it doesn't. Right. I'll get you a pen. And then you have to sign on the digital thing.
Yeah.
And it was taking me ages. And she's like, just
nobody really cares.
Just go. No one can read it. I was there, please.
Is this because it was digital?
Yeah, I was like, it's like a screen and you have to do it with your finger.
Yeah.
I was like, anyone, that could be Jim McCabe, it could be anything. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get it right, Just don't. You didn't, and that was what dawned on me. It's only dawned on me now, actually. I didn't try and get one part of the process right up until that point.
Yeah.
That one point, and then it's like, no, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
This
is important. This is me
I'm
name.
writing my name with my finger here. This needs to be bang on. It's on dawned on me right now.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. They must love you.
Oh,
Do you reckon that the reason? Remember, you were saying for ages you kind of struggled to get anybody. Remember, you were literally in the show going, "Look, if somebody's listening, could you please just
ring me
or whatever?"
Call
and
me,
you were
please,
putting it out there.
anything.
Do you reckon what's happened is that now, after many years of all of this, that your number's just blocked,
blacklist
on loads of. Like literally every government agency and state agency.
They're like, don't deal with him.
Literally,
don't.
When you ring them, it comes up, do not answer.
Yeah, I'm going to ring up the next one of these days. I'm going to ring up and they're going to say, I'm sorry, the state says you're dead.
Yeah.
You've been written off. The computer system has written you off. That's it. Yeah.
There's no such person.
There's no such person. Yeah, I'll be dead. To be like, he looks like that fella that used to be around, but he's not. He's dead. He's long gone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just don't know how anything works. What am I talking about? I've been working with you for 10 fucking years. There's not one button in here I know what it does. There's not one button. I don't even know where the light switch is for this room. Where is it? It's down, look at that. It's down by my waist height. I thought it was up the wall. I had no idea it was there.
Wow.
It's by the plug socket. Ladies and gentlemen, the light switch is by the plug socket. It's the first button I've ever known to do anything in this studio.
I mean, I suppose the one good thing is at least, you know, the world isn't getting more technological as we...
At least, yeah, thankfully we're going backwards.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
God.
not like there'll be more digital and more online and more kind of electronic and more whatever. At least that's, you know what I mean. So
yeah,
I
know. And even if I did go back,
I'm sure the quill will come back.
The quill, yeah. And I still won't go. I haven't got a spare pot of ink, have you?
Oh, yeah. You haven't got a decent feather, have you? This is the only one I could get.
I'm after buckling.
It's like a bucky's feather. It only came off a small chicken.
Yeah, I'm after buckling me feather coming over on the horse.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Looking lovely out there at the moment. Sun shining in, beaming into the Radio Nova Towers courtyard at the moment.
Yeah.
And Anita, you know, I was saying earlier on, imagine if you just randomly had decided to take this week off for whatever reason.
I tell you, what a brilliant thing it would have been.
Literally, it's happened to Anita.
Oh, jammy gate.
Jim, I just did that. Stayed at home this week. She says she's my hog.
My hog?
The backyard is only massive looking. She's
Fair
having
play.
a ball.
Jeepers, well, being my hog is a lot better than being scarlet.
Yeah.
So,
and also, on the shrinkflation, the hotel shrinkflation.
Yeah, the way
that's going on, they're pushing check-in times later and check-out times earlier, or whatever. Linda was on say, lads, we're going away next week to Lanzarote, and late checkout is costing us €76.
Isn't that a scandal?
And don't even know what time that's until. We're hoping it's around 6 p.m.
It won't be.
Yeah.
Look at me, as if I have a clue, as if I know anything. Me just jumping in with pessimism for no reason. I apologise. I hope it is for you as
and
well.
then my mate John has been on, Amelia Donna. He says, all to do with this pay to check in early scam.
Yes,
when the room is ready anyway. Oh, so you pay to early check in as well as late check out?
Yeah, well,
they're doing that because it used to be the late checkout, but now you do the...
Oh, yeah, now it's like, is there any chance of getting in before bedtime? Well, I guess we can maybe do something if there's a little bit of an extra bit of a few quid.
And in fairness, I'd trust John, because, I mean, have you seen the tan on that man?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Is he mahog as well?
Oh, I tell you, there's fences around the place that'd be jealous of him.
Jeepers, look at him like he's like a park bench walking around the place.
You better believe it. Good man, John. Anyway, listen, the other great thing about the fantastic weather, especially for Mr. PJ Gallagher, my learned friend and colleague, is the fact that it does give you sort of a bit of an extra, you know, less judgment on you when you have 3 ice creams in your hand.
Doesn't it? You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
But be careful of the way you get judged.
What is your current ice cream level?
How do you mean?
On a daily basis. Because at the best of times...
On
even
a day like this?
Well, you see, that's what I'm thinking. In this particularly good spell we're having of late.
I'll go through 3 Whoppers today anyway, that's for sure.
There you go.
$1.99 and a couple of big tubs anyway, there's no doubt about it. Get the Oreo Deluxe ready. I'm on the way. But, you know, you have to be careful about being judged when you have your ice cream as well. A behavioural psychologist, Joe Hemmings, says the way you eat your ice cream says an awful lot about your temperament and what your personality could be like. So maybe you're a tentative nibbler or a greedy gobbler.
Or I think we know. Is there one called hoovering? If you hoover your ice cream, is there a category for that?
Well, she says, there's a lot of like restless energy out there in the sun, and sometimes it comes out in the way you eat your ice cream, and it has an effect on the people around you. So, for instance, if you're a biter, you know, people who bite into 99s and that type of thing.
Oh, right, okay.
If you're a biter, it means you're impulsive, probably confident, and ultimately fearless with how you carry yourself in the world. That you don't really care what people think.
It's pretty obvious I'm not a biter.
What about a nibbler then? Are you a nibbler? Cautious, gentle, thoughtful, and a little controlling when it comes to your own ways?
Nibbler, maybe. I don't know. I mean, are we talking soft ice cream now? Or are we talking are we going choc ices and everything as well?
Well, you choose your.
Right.
You choose.
I could be. Let me see what the other categories are before I choose.
What about a liquor? You look like a bit of a liquor to me.
I'm sorry. That's probably where I'd lean.
Are you?
Before I even know what's coming, I think I probably would lean that way. If we're talking 99s,
Really?
I probably am.
Well, I tell you, Jim's other half of on is the luckiest woman in Ireland. Relaxed, romantic.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Where do you go? Now, she's listening to this going, what? Relaxed.
Yeah. Relaxed isn't a word
And
that's normally...
romantic. Say stressed.
Excuse me.
Stressed and aromatic, maybe.
Right, what are you then? Come
Guzzler,
on.
the guzzler.
Of course you are.
I am the guzzler. Yeah.
What is that now?
Impulsive, enthusiastic, impatient, irritable, hard to please, and basically consumes an awful lot. Yeah, I'm the guzzler, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, what happens to me in ice cream is the same as what happens if a dog gets loose in a butcher shop.
Radio Nova. Glory Days. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
Obviously, PJ, once upon a time, back in the old days when he was funny, used to do live tours. Okay?
Yeah.
And he'd, obviously be touring the country regularly as a big star, big celebrity, famous comedian, all that sort of stuff, playing venues the length and breadth of the country. And one of the things that most people associate with, those kind of performances for bands or for comedians or for anything like that is, of course, there's always a little rider, isn't there?
There's always
Apart
a rider.
from your fee, there's a little rider of listen, he always wants, I don't know, sparkling something or other available.
Requests. So mine was a sandwich. A sandwich and whatever, probably a Red Bull. I used to drink a lot of that ale stuff at the time. I don't anymore.
So you demand Red Bull and a particular
There's no
type of...
demand. They ask you what you want when you get there, and I say, just a sandwich and a Red Bull before I go on and put it in a pint glass, whatever. That'll be it, yeah.
Put it in a pint glass.
Yes, yeah, pint glass, a pint of Red Bull. Yes, I would, yes, if you don't mind me saying.
And what was the sandwich?
Well, that was whatever they decided,
Right.
It wasn't very specific.
So your rider was was basically the equivalent of soup and a sandwich?
Yeah, no ham.
Except it was Red Bull.
Pretty much,
Red
yeah.
Bull and a sandwich.
Pretty much.
Thanks very much.
And then you hear all these stories through the 80s and everything of, the big bands. Van Halen, I think, wasn't it famously they would want the M&Ms with... You had to take all the yellows out or only red M&Ms or something like that. And
But there was the truth of that story was actually very good, though.
Yeah, it
was
a test.
famously a test. It was in the contract to make sure that they had read the contract in full. The promoter, the booker, had read it in full so that they got the right technical specs. And they hid that in there to see had they actually,
read
really
everything.
gone through it.
And if they'd know then, if they saw that they'd read everything on the list. Yeah.
But I mean, there is weird things. There was didn't Mariah Carey wanted the rooms that she was in to be painted a certain colour?
Yeah.
Freshly painted.
And your woman, what's her name? That this, isn't it ironic, that one?
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, ironically, someone who comes across as quite a hippie is very specific with her demands and wants the whole place done up like as if it's an African spa and everything. And you have to have towels made from very specific towels made in one part of the world and all this. There's very wow. Yeah, there's all that type of stuff. And then Sophie Ellis-Bextor, we've just found out, demands that there's a jar of gherkins in every dressing room she goes into. It's actually quite a humble demand.
Pickled gherkins.
Yeah, pickled gherkins. And she says, no gherkin, no workin, is her saying, apparently.
Wow.
So no gherkin, no workin.
It's an unusual demand. As you say, relatively humble, not very difficult to get.
Relatively humble, and it's easy. And she goes, it's like a little
unusual.
test. And she says, like herself, it's like a little test. I want to see what they put in. I know my gherkins, she says, what a good gherkin is and the effort that would go into it. Sometimes, if a venue is making a lot of efforts, there'll be a huge gherkin tub like they have in the fish and chip shops, like an industrial size. Sometimes it's just a tiny gherkin jar, like you'd see in the local supermarket.
Well, how many gherkins does she get through?
Well, this is it. She seems like a bit of an oddball. I think I like her. So instead of asking people back for a drink and all, and when they're on the tour in the green room, she says people come in, she says, help yourself to a gherkin. So they have they sit around and have gherkins instead of taking illegal drugs and having pints. So that's what they do.
She really knows how to party.
And then she says
she loves party like a gherkin party.
Get this, she loves alone gherkin time before her shows. So she'll sit down and have a few gherkins, Google the city she's playing in, and she says, I love to Google some facts about the city and then go out and tell the crowd some facts about the place they live. As if they don't know. So
I'm leaning more towards the oddball bit that you mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
Yeah.
So she's
just don't know that I want somebody from the stage telling me about my city with her gherkin breath.
So she comes out with her gherkin breath and she goes, hello, Dublin!
Oh, my God, you get the bang of that.
Hello, Dublin. While I was munching pickles, I just realised, did you know Britain ruled you?
Yeah.
For a while?
That's weird.
Yes.
I mean, what, the purpose behind most riders, I suppose was kind of it's a bit of a luxury thing. I would have assumed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the bigger the bands, and if they're demanding, I don't know, a particular brand of champagne or
and all of that,
particular type of food stuff that But
I remember hearing a story years ago, and I don't know if it's true, but someone who worked in the Olympia many, many, many years ago told me that when Shane MacGowan and the Dubliners gigged together, apparently one of them asked for a bucket of mayonnaise. Now, I don't know if this is true, right? But apparently they asked for a bucket of mayonnaise, and it was delivered, and the reason was one of the bands wanted to go in and throw it all over the other band and pelt it at them, like, as in mayonnaise balls. And they had a mayonnaise fight before they went on stage and absolutely destroyed the place. One of them thought it would be funny. It does strike me that it might have been the Pogues now, rather than the Dubliners.
Was this a regular thing? Was this before every gig, or just a one-off?
I only know the person that was in the Olympia, so it would have been that show, at least that show.
Right.
But that was on the road.
Maybe they went with different condiments depending on what venue they were in. Yeah, and maybe it was mustard one time, and who knows? Yeah, who knows? Red sauce.
If we're in Offaly, you won't get mayonnaise. They would have been thinking. You can only get it already coleslawed out here.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at
InsureMyVan.ie. Sometimes we have to talk about a story, and it might be delicate. It might be a bit delicate. And so we have to be careful, because you never know what sort of ears. There might be little ears listening. So we have to be careful about, when we're saying things about how we maybe describe it. So you occasionally have to think up names.
Don't you just
for
body parts? For body parts.
Yes.
And they've asked people, what are your favourite names for body parts? And what names do you use for body parts to make them sound, well, less atrocious, I suppose,
less atrocious?
Some body parts just, there's some words about the body that even using the actual word sounds rude. Feet, for instance. People hate feet. So people say
people hate feet,
footies, and your little trotters. These are words that people use instead of using the word FEET, which you shouldn't even say on the radio. You know what I mean?
Wow, why have you got a problem with feet?
I don't personally, but I know some people can't even look at an old FOOT. They have to say,
actually, I do know somebody like that.
On you, or you know, that type of thing.
But so these are sort of like pet names for body parts.
Yes, yeah. So for instance, your bum, you might have your backside, your posterior, your muffin,
your BOT Tom,
your bottom. Yeah, so all these words, what are your favourite words? They're asking people. They're trying to actually get it together now to find out what your favourite words are. Well, they're actually now currently looking for you to take part in these things.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And these are the most popular ones so far.
Right.
Obviously, then it gets slightly rude.
Well, what do they do for the non-rude bits?
Your belly. Does people have your tum-tum?
Tum-tum.
Your tum-tum.
Yeah.
Your little oven. I don't get that one at all. I don't get that
oven.
at all. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then it comes to, the front area of human beings. And when you get to the front area of human beings, there's some things that stick out. On men, they may have areas that would be referred to as maybe your
This should be interesting.
Your Leroy's or your crown jewels.
Right.
Then there's ladies that may have melons, and maybe there's men with melons. Maybe there's all kinds of areas of the body that you may want to come up with names yourselves for brassicas.
Right.
These type of things. Somebody saying...
Well, famously, didn't your man from Top Gear refer to it as...
say Top Leroy as a way of saying...
No, didn't he refer to it as man vegetables?
Man vegetables, that's a good one, yes, yeah. Ghoulies is one that gets bandied around an awful lot as well.
Right.
I think Ghoulies is a good one because it's sort of it's very inoffensive, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more. It's also used in the ghostly world. Ghosts and ghoulies.
Ghosts and that's true. That's true.
Equally scary, depending.
And then there's people who call it their peanuts. That's a bit of a strange one. My peanuts.
Peanuts.
There's a sort of. Although a lot of people have peanut allergies, so.
That could play into it, all right.
God, there's an awful lot of landmines.
I'm assuming that's where they're centred.
Your nads.
I'm assuming that's kind of like, normal places like your head or your shoulders or your whatever. Don't really get pet names.
It seems to be the, not the exterior, the extremities. You know that way?
Right.
Toes, fingers, your digits, that type of things.
Why couldn't you just call your toes your toes? What's wrong with just...
Because people don't. They say tootsies and touchums and... your little piggies, and they say all these things. These are the names people use. I don't know why, but if it's an extremity, it gets a nickname. If it's not, it doesn't, you know?
Right.
Like, you never go into the doctor and the doctor says, and you go, oh, I'm feeling bad in my chest, and the doctor goes, is your little ticker going boom boom? Is your ticky-tacky?
Hey, you've just stumbled across
Is your
with
little boom box?
Your ticker. There you go. So it does get one.
Okay, that's one. Well, let's say, hey doctor, I've been hitting it a bit hard lately. And your doctor doesn't go, is your little livy doovy bang bang not feeling very well? Are your kidneys all shaken up? You know, they're not in the position. They're not in that physical position. So it's all
right. So if it's extremities, then few people have been on wanting to know. For example, your ears or your nose. What do they get?
Your nose. There's nothing listed for
hooter,
nose.
I suppose.
Your hooter. Your hooter.
Yeah.
There's definitely other names for nose, isn't there? Hooter, your shrown. No, that's the actual Irish word.
Schnozzle.
Your schnozzle, your honker. And then your forehead, your bumper. You know, there's that.
I've never heard a forehead referred to as a bumper. Mind you, I don't use mine the way you use yours, to be perfectly honest with you.
As in what? As in a way of finding a way around in the dark?
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
Obviously, there's still, regardless of weather here, there's obviously going to be, loads of people going to be jetting off to different destinations. Travel agents, of course, they often get, they get specific kind of requests.
Some of the stupidest things get that. Let's be honest.
I was just going to say, people like to, personalise their experience.
They haven't a clue what they're asking for. They haven't a clue. Last year we did it, the British sort of Society of Travel Agents. Or, no, last year we did the Irish ones, and then there was a sort of a travel group from Britain. And now the American Society of Travel Agents have revealed some of the stupidest questions. Please at least have a half an idea of what you're looking for before you approach a travel agent.
Right.
Or at least some idea. So the American, they're saying this is some of the stupidest questions they've been asked this year, right? Is there any chance you could book the honeymoons? Well, no, actually, I won't even read that one out. It's really rude.
Oh, is it?
But how about, it's just that they want, they're having a double wedding, let's say, and they're looking for a room for exercises. I'd like to, how about this one?
For a double wedding, wow.
Yeah. Do they speak English in Britain? We're thinking on going there, but we're worried about the language barrier. So that's one of the questions asked. Genuine questions asked.
Do they speak English
Yes.
in Britain?
Do they speak English in Britain at all? We'd love to go, but we're not sure. And you might think, well, that's as stupid as it gets, until you think the fellow goes, is it all right if I do a bit of fishing off the back of the cruise ship every day? No, it is not all right to do a bit of fishing. For a start, where are you going to put the fish?
Well, yeah.
Even if you weren't causing a danger and a hazard
I wonder what
everybody.
What he was assuming he was going to catch.
It's absolutely mad what people... can you guarantee me, please, that no pet has ever been in the hotel room I'm about to stay in? Ever.
Ever.
Absolutely not. Would you please not tell my fiancé that I was here before with another woman? Can you actually believe that's a request to the travel agent?
Yeah. I'm not sure which side of that is the kind of weirdest bit.
Is there any chance you could organise for me to get married? Right? Wait till you hear this one. Any chance you could organise a chance to get married in a place where the marriage won't be legal when we come back to America, but my other half won't know?
Wow.
Isn't that absolutely spectacular?
That's incredible. And they're asking the travel agent that.
I like to take photographs of myself at around 4 o'clock. Will there be shadows on the boat at that time? Mother of God. Mother of God. Mother of God.
I mean, they seem to vary now from the downright stupid, as in idiotic, like they literally speak English in England, or whatever, to the kind of slightly sinister. Like that, imagine that. And for the travel agent to know that, listen, you'll be safe enough, you can get married here. Sure, as soon as you're into international waters, it's all null and void. You're grand.
You're grand. And now that we're after international waters, so there's a person that says, we're getting married, can you organise that 2 whales jump up in the background when I propose to my girlfriend? I thought, I gotta go. Will you marry me? And the 2 whales that pop out of the water. In an act of celebratory celebrations of nature.
That's incredible.
Isn't it, yeah?
Organising the whales to do it.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, again, the environment that this was being done in, this was a cruise ship or something, was it? Or some sort of, or it doesn't matter. But like, all I'm saying is, it wasn't...
Probably a pool.
It wasn't in SeaWorld or anything, was it?
No.
Right.
It was not, no.
Okay.
And then one woman says she was just getting through it. I said, they seem like a completely normal couple. And it says, do you want a window seat or an aisle seat for the plane? She goes, don't put me in the window seat, for God's sake. I'm getting my hair done before we leave. Yeah.
Oh,
unreal, isn't it? Yeah.
Because the air that would come in at you there, 30,000 feet, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ruin a decent do.
And they were and another couple were going to Hawaii. And your man says, is there any chance of meeting Elvis? Elvis died in 1977. And he's not from Hawaii.
I was just going to say, based on one movie that he made.
Yeah.
That involves... whatever.
Aloha or something like that.
Blue in Hawaii or something. Whatever the hell.
Is he not doing a residency
By the
there?
way, just to clarify, I did not say Bluey in Hawaii.
There you have it.
Elvis, to the best of my knowledge, never made a Bluey in Hawaii or anywhere else for that matter.
If he did, that'd be a tourist attraction. We'd all want to go to the Elvis Bluey film location.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meet Elvis in Hawaii.
Yeah, unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. I love it, yeah. And one saying, is there any chance I can go where there's no men? I understand. I hear you there. And someone else saying, does the crew sleep on the cruise ship while we're out at sea as well? No, they go home in the evening. Yeah.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.